is fun. So, good morning to everyone. Hi, Sister Usha.
Good morning.
Can you believe this is January the 31st and the last day of our Willpower series? So, we're grateful that we have at least one more session to spend with all of you. And Nita already mentioned that today is about getting your input, getting your experience and feedback and things. So more or less, that is going to be the flavor of today's session. But before we ask you for your input, we'd like to just all take the opportunity actually to just engage in some sort of reflective process and go on a small journey to give ourselves the opportunity to, in silence, consolidate our entire experience of the month. And so then we'll be ready to share with each other. So I'd like to invite you to just follow the words that I'm about to share. You can feel free to open your eyes or to keep your eyes closed. But it's just about taking time to go on a small journey internally. So imagine that you are standing at the beginning of a very long corridor. The corridor is so long, you aren't even able to see what lies ahead of you, what's at the end of it. But you're curious. And so you start to make your way down this corridor. And as you walk along this corridor, you feel very comfortable, very welcome. It's as if this space belongs to you and you belong in this space. So whilst you're here, you are totally free, absolutely secure. And at about a third of the way into the corridor, you notice a large life-size mirror along the side on the wall with an inscription placed next to it. So you stand in front of this mirror and then glance at the inscription. And it's a question. Where am I at right now? You cast your eyes on the mirror and lovingly take a look at yourself, appreciating everything about yourself exactly the way you are. The raw, uncut, unfiltered version of yourself. Just looking back at you. And your vision is like a warm embrace, just absorbing everything about yourself with complete acceptance. No questions, no exclamations, just a full stop. This is me now, in this moment. This is where I'm at. And with this deep feeling inside that it's okay, suddenly you're filled with amazing courage and enthusiasm. This warm embrace of your all-accepting vision has lifted a tension and a pressure. Has given you hope. Filled you with energy. And with this spirit of rejuvenation, you continue along the corridor, making your way with a new spring in your step. And further along, at about 2/3 of the way down the corridor, you come upon a very beautiful, wide, open, golden dish of crystal clear water, standing on a little table. And you look into the water. Carved on the edges of this golden, wide vessel, this beautiful bowl of the soul, is another question. Where do I want to be next? Where do I want to be next? You continue to cast your gaze downwards, looking into the water, and very gradually an image becomes apparent, a very beautiful image reflecting off the surface of the water. You see yourself at the point of having reached your full potential. There was beauty in the first image of where am I at. But there's something remarkable, absolutely magnificent about this second image. You notice the eyes. What are these eyes saying to you? You notice the smile. What secrets does the smile hold? There before you, in all its glory, lies the image of willpower. Take a moment to just quietly absorb the sweet energy. As you step away from this bowl, you feel a huge amount of love bursting from your heart. And immense power, stability, settling into yourself. As you walk along, you notice that the way you move has a newfound confidence, a sense of surety. I know who I am. I know where I'm at. And I know where I'm heading. And all of it is wonderful. You find yourself having reached the end of the corridor. And in front of you, you notice a large, ancient treasure chest. Kneeling down, In anticipation, you open the treasure chest. On the inside of the lid, there's an inscription. Everything you need in order to make this a reality. So you begin to look into the treasure chest. There's about 4 or 5 items. Patiently and carefully, you lift each item and you begin to study it. What is this? What does it symbolize? What message is it giving me? How will I be able to use this lesson to help me hold on to my pure intention? And you ask yourself these questions as you begin to appreciate each of these 4 or 5 items. Each one of them holds a very special message, symbols of wisdom, guidance, inspiration, reminders. Supporting you. Strengthening you. You close the treasure chest with a feeling of complete fulfillment. Now I know. My path has been carved. It's my time to shine. I begin by taking the first step. This is my journey of willpower. Om Shanti. So thank you. And I hope that you gained many deep and beautiful insights whilst engaging in that reflective exercise. I'd now like to ask Sister Usha to continue.
Thank you, Sister Devendri. So basically, you know, the things that you have gone through in terms of your reflection will be the little gifts that you have taken. And maybe this is a lovely time for you to share with each other and with all of us. What is it that you feel have been the gifts that you have taken? And I find that sometimes when we do speak about it as well, we clarify it for ourselves. So, an opportunity for you to unmute and share something that even if you've tried it out and it made a difference to you, to share some of those as well. These were things that on our journey we've used and made it practical for ourselves. The one thing about spiritual treasures that they just like entry points, but each of us use them and then make it a power within ourselves. And that's actually how we will it to be part of our lives. So, are there some things like that that you've picked up, even from the reflection that we've just had? Is there something that became very clear for you that you'd like to share with us? So, opportunity for you to unmute and share with us. Anybody?
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti. Is that Sharad?
Yes. I'm actually taking the cue from you, Sister Usha, not to procrastinate and perhaps even be the first one here to express what I would like to. And whilst this session was in progress, I was actually writing to myself, and that's what I'd like to share as to what I wrote to myself. So I remind myself that 2022 is destined to be a year like no other. I know it is not just going to happen and it's just not going to fall on my lap. But my willpower will play a dominant role in my journey of transformation. And that was the blessing that I sought when Nita offered it on the screen. I'll be like that pole vaulter, except that I will run to the high bar before, feeling safe, feeling confident that the divine is with me, and I will have a run up at the right time, let go with discernment to get over. Feel that exhilaration of crossing the barrier that once was a challenge to be surpassed, and enjoying the fact that I have landed safely. In my transformation, I realized how foolish I was not to understand that I am divine, I am peace, I am a powerful soul. It was always, even in the past, time to be happy, to live in absolute bliss. I now know that nothing is insurmountable. I shall simply have faith, believe, walk, and run forward. And as Nike would want me to, I will just do it. And to the identity, Sharad Gokul, I just want to say, you can, you will. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Beautiful. Anyone else?
Hi.
Hi, good morning, my dear.
Good morning. So I want to take this moment to be grateful for the sessions, because these sessions are one of the important part of my day, each day. I feel a bit emotional that tomorrow I would have this session. yeah, I want to take this moment to be grateful for these sessions, for the talks, for the meditations. And I can say that I am feeling or walking towards confidence, self-confidence, trusting myself, and trusting the being that I am, and trusting the process of life. Yeah, trusting the process of life. But then I've been having a back and forth conversations in my head about taking vaccination. So the challenge has been that the jobs that I'm applying for, they are asking if I have vaccinated. And I have been having a challenge of deciding if I want to vaccinate. Something in me doesn't want me to vaccinate, and it's a very strong feeling inside of me, because it feels as though this thing, this vaccination, it's something that I don't know, it will, I don't know, disturb me, I don't know, disturb what in me. And I don't know like how to address it, or because it feels as though everywhere I go, being pushed towards vaccination. And even though I breathe and remind myself, who am I? And remind myself that I am divine, I am the soul, and this body is a vessel that carries my soul. Yeah, there's always a feel of a challenge. So I'm just, standing on air, not grounded. Yet these sessions have been grounding me, and connected to myself. And yeah.
Mapore, I just want to say something about when we are in a dilemma, like should I not? And I feel like, generally for me also, I'm not a person who will take medication or
Me
on the
too.
allopathic side.
Yeah.
But when I decided to take the vaccination, I had a different take to it. I had this feeling that I will allow myself to coexist with what is at the moment creating disturbance. So when I took the vaccination, I had this feeling that it is not something foreign to me, but it's something that I'm using to create a bridge. And I must be honest, no matter how many times I did both my vaccinations, I never had any side effects of feeling sick or anything like that. So I feel, our minds are also important. I don't think anybody must tell you what to do, but, look at it with the feeling of something that you are more powerful than the external. And I mean, just embrace it with the idea that it's not something that will bring you down, but you are the energy that's above everything. So the soul is always, consciousness is always the creator, and the creator can actually surpass anything. So I think, give yourself a little bit of time and check and see from your inner wisdom what comes about. You yourself will have the answer to do it, and do it with peace, and it will be very beautiful.
Thank you.
And don't worry about the sessions ending. Maybe this series have ended, but there will be something that will start tomorrow morning as well. So you will always be inspired by something for the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maseka, thank you. Please go ahead. Maseka, you can unmute and please share. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I say greetings of peace because I am becoming more and more peaceful, and I'm becoming more and more silent. You know, that 13-second phrase, I am a soul, I am peace, I am a being of peace. Each time I say it, I feel calmness engulfing me. And this morning, I think it was said, when there is all we need is peace to change the world. I'm very thankful for these sessions, because where I am, there is some start, but with COVID and everything, I would not have been able to attend. And this way of attending bridges that gap. And I'm very thankful for the time and the preparation for us to benefit. Thank you so, so much.
Only a pleasure, my dear. And I'm so glad you took up that 13-second little practice. You will find that when that becomes natural in you, it's like you'll be ready for anything. And that's really something very beautiful. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to share their thoughts, their experiences? We can take a few more. It's so beautiful to listen to everyone because we talk all the time to you, but it's nice to actually hear the voice behind the little squares that we see. So please do unmute and bring your voice to the room. And okay, please unmute. It's Ms. Kumalo, you may unmute, please.
Hi, good day, good morning. Yes. Last night, I just want to share my experience. Last night while I was meditating, it was like around after 10 p.m. and I was sitting outside meditating. I started just meditating, saying, I'm the light, I am love, I am peace, I'm the light, I am love. And then just immediately after finishing the sentence, I am the light, there was more like a lightning in the sky up above. There were clouds, but I kept on seeing like lightning right in front of me in those clouds. It was like twitching and switching. And then I thought, oh, it's there would be a storm maybe, or the storm is coming, but I'm looking at the clouds, they don't look like it's gonna be a storm, but the lights kept on twitching and I was making sure that I'm seeing what I'm seeing, it is what it is. So I just experienced that last night. And yeah, I'm still like thinking about it like as if, wow. You know, I couldn't wait to wake up in the morning and share it with you.
I'm glad. It's nice that your meditation is really like something you've now made as a practice. And it's very beautiful that we do take time at night and practice and then wake up in the morning and do it again. And this kind of practice, that strength that is inside of us, I really feel that each one of us to hold that deep feeling is not that I'm getting something from outside, but that I'm actually, when I become quiet and still, I'm opening the doors to the things that exist inside of me. So really, thank you for that experience. But thank you for just encouraging everyone that the more time we sit in silence, the more we allow the magic to happen in our lives. Great, thank you. Anybody, there's some chats I want to read, but please unmute and share. So we have somebody that says, I realize that with willpower, I will still need to conquer my fears. Okay, and then, okay, thank you for the session. Greetings to all. Through the study of the BKs, I am privileged to put in all the practices that we were taught throughout the last year. Thank you to everyone concerned who allowed for these teachings. Om Shanti. Okay. So it's unforgettable and transforming. Thank you for sharing your experience, enthusiasm, humor. Please, everyone, let me hear some more your experiences. I really want to hear some of the practical stuff that you did and allowed it to become part of your life, because, you know, for each one, you are your own teacher. And the way you teach yourself will inspire someone else as well. So is there anyone else that likes to quickly unmute and share?
Hello, this is Carol.
Yes, Carol.
Usha, I want to say something that might sound strange, but it's something I learned from a very senior, from Sister Mira, actually, many years ago. We were sitting at the airport. For those who don't know, Sister Mira is she's a very senior yogi in charge of Malaysia. So we were sitting at the airport waiting for the plane, and we were just chatting. And she said, you know, whatever your mind tells you to do, just be disobedient. So if your mind tells you to do ABC, then you do X, Y, Z. Basically, by nature, I'm quite lazy. I don't know where I got it from, because neither my parents were lazy, but I've got that thing. But so sometimes I take a bit long to get up. My mind tells me, just sit there 5 minutes longer. Then what I do, I disobey it. Be disobedient to your mind, because it is your mind that makes all those fears. So be disobedient to your mind. Do the opposite of what your mind tells you. So if you're afraid, then just get up and go face that thing that you're afraid of. Fear originates in the mind.
That's it. That's good. So thank you, Sister Carol, because somebody did ask that question. And so it's true, you know, fear is really just the absence of knowing. And so if you just face it and you bring it into the light, it will disappear. But we can take up fear as another topic altogether, because these things are profoundly deep and definitely worth experimenting with on a deeper level. One thing that I might say is that we're going to do a little poll now. So I'm going to hand you back to Sister Nita. And if there's still any closing remarks from Sister Devendri. But it'll be also nice that, you know, some of the topics that we picked up in this last series, you know, there were things like anxiety, there were things like blame, shame, criticism, jealousy. If anything there is specifically on your mind that you feel it's worth to explore, we'll be happy for you to actually share those topics. We can work around things that can support you on your journey. So from my side, thank you. It was really lovely being with everyone. Thank you to Sister Devendri. This was her inspiration. I just accompanied her, and I hand you over to Sister Devendri. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Usha, and thanks to everyone in our group. I enjoyed this month with you, and not perfect at all, and still learning. And so it was a very empowering experience for me as well. Listening, just being part of everything, having to think about the input for the sessions, learning so much from Sister Usha, having the opportunity to interact with you. So all of it has been very precious, very dear to me. And I really just wish you well on your journey of transformation. And I want to leave you with 3 words, which are the principles for training. But I think this is what I've actually decided to do for myself for the year 2022. Routine, repetition, and practice. So those are the principles for training. routine, repetition, and practice. And I think if all of us, integrate that into our lives and decide what we want to incorporate in our routine, what best practices we want to continue to engage in, and what we want to repeat often enough so that it becomes our natural nature, then definitely success is going to be guaranteed. So good luck to all of you, and please take care. Thank you.
So thank you both, Sister Usha, Sister Devendri. Definitely a rich month, I feel. I also took a lot of benefit. So thank you for that. So before we end off today, because it's the first time we sort of running the Rise and Shine program, we'd love to get some